Hello, friends. Welcome to your November readings. Can you believe it's November already? Page of Cups. It's going to be a fun ride for November. Anyway, this one is for Taurus, of course, because you clicked on it. And it says Taurus. So, welcome to my Taurus friends, cross watchers. Anyone else who might be interested in the message. I appreciate you all being here. Okay, let me pick those up. I'll be right back. We have the Page of Cups, and then Strength came out in reverse with the Nine of Wands in reverse and Knight of Swords. So, it might be a challenging month. It'll be okay, but it might be challenging, just emotionally. Page of Cups, that's kind of why I said what I did when I saw the Page of Cups come out, because, you know, the cups in general are emotions, and it points to all of the feels. The Page of Cups in particular, you know, it can talk about a person who is really in touch with their intuition, very much in tune with the synchronicities of the world. And it could signify like a new creative endeavor. The cups talk about creativity as well. So November might be a super creative month. Emotions are great for creativity. The more that we allow ourselves to dive into them, no matter if they are, you know, on the happy, good side of the spectrum or the more sad side of the spectrum, they can all be useful and they can all turn into beautiful creative endeavors. So keep that in mind. If you are feeling all emotional and all of that, maybe try to channel that into some kind of creativity, whatever that might look like for you, whatever your favorite is. Okay. This is the tricky stuff. These are the internal feelings of doubt and maybe paranoia in this one. Feeling kind of weak. Just not feeling yourself. Feeling like you're not good enough. Like you're not measuring up to where you should be. So a lot of judgment and all of that, right? And I don't see it as the reality of your situation. It's just how you're feeling. And that can be tough. We can delude ourselves pretty easily into thinking all of these things about ourselves, especially if we are starting something new, and diving into the creative process. You know, there's a lot of doubts that can come into that, and a lot of fears and second guessing. So with the Knight of Wands, it can be quick. It can be hasty, quick in a bad way, going a little too quick kind of thing. And I think that's because of all of this supercharged emotion. Because when we get in that doubtful space, sometimes it's like, we just got to get it over with, right? Let's just do it real quick. Try not to do that. When you're doing something creative and emotive, it can serve you well to slow down the process. So be a little bit conscientious in that, and try not to fall into that trap of like, one, falling into the trap of your doubts, and that can just crush any of these experiences that you might have moving forward, right? But try not to rush it along either. If you can marinate in it a little bit, and even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's on that harder side of the emotional spectrum, if you can calm it down a little bit and just sit with it long enough to feel through it, to feel all the little corners and edges, and then channel that into whatever your creative expression is. It will be of high value to you. And I don't mean monetarily necessarily. Sometimes, yeah, you can create a beautiful painting and make some money on it. That's great. But even more valuable is the healing that can happen when you dive into that space. So try it. We are going to pull an oracle card real quick. Try and get a nice little guiding light here when it comes to emotion and creativity. There are so many ways this can go, but I think we have the perfect deck for it. I don't even know what this one is called anymore because I bought it when I first started. That's the back art, so I'll show you the front when I get the card here. But yeah, and of course it fell. I need a bigger desk one day, but goals. I'll be right back. More pointing to those tough emotions. I'll let you read that if you want to. You can pause it. I try to be really still, but I am just not a still person. So I do my best. Anyways, it says attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. And it's true. A lot of times when we feel those things, what we're really wanting is connection. Sometimes that can be in the form of affection or just good conversation, listening, understanding, things like that. So on one hand, it can be that need to connect. And being in your emotions, again, it can be very helpful in that whole processing of it. So reach out to the people that you really care about and that you trust, or if there's someone in particular that you're really drawn to right now, be purposeful in trying to connect with them right now. That could be very helpful. On the other hand, part of it is, that call for help to yourself. And we kind of talked about how we're going to have to be processing through these emotions and stuff. And a lot of times with creative processes, a large part of it is done alone. Not necessarily all of it, but depending on what your creativity looks like, right? There may be an element where you are largely alone for it. And the cry for help is that intuitive piece where you're just trying to connect to yourself more fully and understand those emotions that are coming up. So, what might look like feelings of weakness and not feeling good enough, all of those things that we discussed on the front end, when it appears like that, there's often deeper root causes and bigger things that are causing those, and the emotions really are symptoms. So it's those deeper things that are calling out to you, asking for you to process them through and help yourself in that healing. So could be both of those sides of this card that are calling to you, but whichever one or both, try it out. Hopefully it helps. I hope there was at least one nugget of help in here. Thank you so much for being here. I will dive into the extended over on Patreon. So if you are a member there, or if you're not yet, I invite you to sign up. I will see you over there. And if this is where we part ways, that's perfectly fine too. Thank you for being here as well. I hope to read for you again soon. I love you lots. Bye.